Welcome, everybody, to Den Excelsior, the Mostly Marvel podcast. I'm Ricky, and of course, we got Dennis with us. What are we talking about this week?
What do you mean? What are we talking about? You don't know? Oh, I hope you know. Oh, we're talking about Elektra.
Jennifer Garner's.
We're getting ready to wrap up our Fox run of superhero movies very shortly, and we're gonna because there's rumors that there may be a certain movie coming out in a few weeks that may reference some stuff from the Fox universe. I guess if you want to call it a universe.
Excuse me, sir. It's the New Line Cinema, New Line Universe, New Line Regency Universe.
It's not New Line. It's Regency.
Oh.
No, it's Fox.
It's Frank.
It's
Fox.
New Line is a division of Warner Brothers.
New Line sent me, baby. I'm here on loan.
Yeah, so
New Line to be on your show.
Welcome back, Frank.
Hey,
yeah,
thanks.
yeah. We're about to get into a weird debate. Yes, welcome back, Frank. We actually wanted you to come for Daredevil, but you had some scheduling issues, and then I was like, "Yo, you want to do Elektra with us?" And you're like, "Pass,
hard pass."
But then we talked about it some more, and we were nerding out a bunch, and I made you see my side of my hatred of Ben Affleck and how the appreciation of Jennifer Garner in that movie, right? In that movie, I think you still watched it last week, right? Even though you couldn't do the show with us.
Daredevil, I watched actually yesterday, and then I watched Elektra. I watched Daredevil yesterday and Elektra yesterday at night.
Ooh. Oh, okay, all right, cool. You got the 1-2 combo, yeah. So
1-2 combo.
But we're not going to quite talk about those right now. So
sure, yeah.
We will be talking about those later in the show. But thank you for joining us. It's been a while since you've been on the show. For our longtime fans, Frank started this whole thing with us, and then one day he said, "Like, you guys are too fucking nerdy. I'm out of here."
We got a year.
Like was that
year or so, Frank?
No, it definitely wasn't them. It wasn't them. It was me. No, actually, what it was is I was just kind of tired of the state of comic book movies at the time. There wasn't anything coming out that I felt was made for me. So I just had to bow out. I had to get out.
Yeah. But the reason, and I respect that, I get it. But the reason I really, really wanted you to come do Daredevil is because like we were playing a game one night a few weeks ago, and you were literally quoting like Deadpool 2. and like you just watched it, and I was like, Frank, you've been doing the same damn marathon we've been doing this entire like few months.
Yeah.
Why aren't you here talking about it with us? And so, but that's I think we found a sweet spot where it is more fun for us to talk about old stuff that like was part of our tradition of enjoying these kind of movies or hating on them, right? Even and so.
Like trauma bonding.
It is trauma bonding, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, we're not here to just spit hate the whole time. It's just for better or worse, these movies are all we had to feed off of, growing up or in our 20s or 30s, whatever. And so, like, they have a special place in our heart, even if they're terrible, right? Like,
sure.
It's just like Ricky loves all the Star Wars prequels. They're terrible.
They're terrible, but he loves them.
Because they were what he got. So
I think one of the best shows I think we had together was with Catwoman. Like that
is a good episode, and that's a good movie.
Good movie,
relatively speaking.
It was good adjacent. Yeah,
it was good adjacent. And that was actually my first time ever watching that movie, and so I like that. I like when we can find little missing spots in our collective memory of nerdom. But Elektra was not a missing spot for me. I actually did watch that one in theaters,
wow.
Because I was pretty impressed with Jennifer Garner's performance in Daredevil, and so I was like, I'll support her. I want to go see it. But it's a pretty crazy thing to think about. Like that movie's 2005, and I'm not trying to talk about the movie itself, but like, you know, a lot of people gave like Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman all this credit for being like the first, like, you know, big female lead super movie in these franchises. But like,
and wasn't Jennifer Lawrence the first action film star ever? The first female action film star ever? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
You mean Jennifer Garner?
Oh yeah, definitely Jennifer Garner. But I was saying Jennifer Lawrence because she was quoted as saying that in that interview.
Oh, okay.
And everyone went crazy on it.
But I'm saying, like, Elektra got her own movie, man. That's crazy. You know, like that's cool. And that was 2005. So
you think
she's up there with the greats as Barbed Wire.
I mean,
Tank Girl
and Tank Girl. Yes. Did we watch Tank Girl together too?
We haven't watched Tank Girl yet, but
okay.
I
thought we watched that together. We didn't watch that together.
I love Tank Girl. I would be down to do that movie with you sometime like later this year if you want.
Yeah. Call my people.
Call your people. All right.
Call my people.
We'll make that happen.
They'll let you know.
Ricky, I think you'd like Tank Girl. It's quite adorable and weird and it's. I think it's timeless.
I know someone who's a Tank Girl, so I do want to watch it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like, who is it?
I'm not. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But
oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. So, but as a teaser, guys, for a future episode, you know, we'll put the card right there. It'll just be like, would you like to watch the Den Excelsior episode where they talk about Tank Girl?
Yeah.
Find out Ricky's mystery person.
2027.
You decide.
Okay, so we were talking about it a little before the show started, and but I want to give Frank the chance to do it, and I know Ricky's not really watching it. He claims he's not watching it because it's too woke. But Frank, do you want to talk about the Acolyte? I think.
Yeah, I'm totally down to talk about
Frank,
it.
Am I wrong? Did Ricky not say those exact words right before we were talking about it?
Yeah, he did say those words, but he was just like woke, and whenever we're like, but what about this part? He's all woke.
I know he was like talking over us. It was really rude, you know. Like
he even clicked me out of the screen.
Yeah,
get out of here, woke.
Yeah. I think
I
saw
firecracker moment.
I think I saw Pepe Frog for a second. Or it was
yeah. I was like, what's happening here?
It was quite abrasive, Ricky. I'm just saying. Yeah. We were just trying to talk about a Star Wars show that we both are enjoying, and
yeah. Well, okay. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it because I've been busy. But set the bar for me. Better or worse than Boba Fett?
Better by a lot.
Better than
terrible.
Better or worse than Mando season 3?
Better
or
worse than Mando season 2?
No, it's not better than season 2.
I don't think it's better than season 2.
All right. I like that spot. I can live there.
Yeah.
I think we all know that Mando season 1 is greatness.
Yeah,
like it's one of the best Star Wars pieces of content we've had in many years. And then, you know, I think Andor is the other one, right? That's pretty high up there because Andor treats us like real adults, like real human beings that have a brain and understand stories and stuff. Are like we
that. Andor or Mando? If you're choosing one.
I think Mando's more fun because we've got so much of it. Like I'll weigh in on Andor again after it's done. You know what I mean?
Like, but if we're going season 1 for season 1, I'm saying Mando's better only because it was more of an adventure story. It was kind of more of what I'd want.
It was more of a Star Wars. It was so. You know what Mando is? Mando's like what X-Men 97 is, right? It's like it's like in our minds when we were kids. Or I guess like our memory of Star Wars.
It does skew more adult for sure.
Yeah, it skews more adult, but it's like all the things that as we grew up we wish we got to see in Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No.
I would also say that Andor kind of mimics like when we were running our own Star Wars campaigns, like tabletop style or something.
Yes,
that kind of more matches what the tone of Andor.
Yeah. Yeah, Andor matches the tone of Rogue One a lot, right? Like whereas like when we geeked out on Rogue One pretty hard because we're like, this is just like the Star Wars campaigns we do at home and stuff like that, you know,
Yep.
which are nothing like normal Star Wars at all, like ever.
Yeah.
And so
I had to beg my friends to play as Jedi because nobody wanted to play as a Jedi, and I'm like, what, really?
Yeah.
I had to scratch out so many villains.
Those
like,
kid snatchers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, those kid snatchers.
I played as a Jedi.
Did you?
I didn't want to, but this guy that we played with that I lived kind of for tormenting him. He wanted to play as a Jedi. And so I was like, I said to the DM, I was like, yo, Brian, if I play a Jedi, can I be his master? And he's like,
no.
Sure.
No.
And so I was Jedi Master Barry Lincoln.
Oh, man.
And this guy had to like be my Padawan.
Was that the first time you met Brian, or is that how you met?
No, I knew Brian before, but like that was the first tabletop role playing session I ever did was that one. And so I just like trolling his roommate. Like I was a dick about it, but yeah, it was pretty funny. It was good.
That's pretty good. Like
because I took it so not seriously. Yeah. I had like my own sex droid that like I used to like, you know, take care of my needs since I wasn't allowed to have attachments and you know,
a la Rick and Morty.
Yeah, so its name was R2 See-Through.
Nice.
It was good. Yeah.
Fridge was my first Jedi in my campaign, and he named himself Fridge-Wan, but like he kept getting so frustrated that he couldn't make any rolls with the D20. Like he kept rolling low and rolling like crap. And eventually he just went to the dark side because he just kept zapping everybody because he was going for the free hits. And he's like, and then he just went to the dark side. And I'm all like, all right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is that the plot of the Acolyte?
I definitely went dark side.
Not quite. I haven't seen Force Lightning yet, to Acolyte's credit, to be honest.
Well, I mean, do you want to know the plot of the Acolyte? Do you like?
I just know the Jedi are there, and then some like shit starts going down, and they start dying, and they're like, "Is this a Sith?" And then they're like, "It is the Sith."
I don't think they mentioned the Sith, do they?
No, they might have.
They edge around the Sith.
They definitely edge. They definitely edge around the Sith.
Around the S word.
Yeah. But no, it's.
I really do want to watch it.
It's basically a story of showing like the height of copdom, you know, like when the cops think that everything is going their way and they can do no wrong, that is absolutely when they will do wrong.
Well, and not only that they can do no wrong, but they can regulate others who use their copdom. Like, I guess if we're using the cop analogy, they're regulating other law enforcement and telling them that they have to fall in line with copdom.
I mean, is it not a fair analogy though? Like that's what the Jedi were.
That's why I'm going with your analogy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and so it's fun to watch. You know, them. It's kind of like what was it? What's the movie with DiCaprio and
Romeo and Juliet?
No, sorry, no. It's
Catch Me If You Can.
No, and Matt Damon.
Oh, The Departed.
Yes, it's kind of like The Departed.
But
you know what I mean? Yeah, a little
kind
bit.
Of, yeah.
Is Jediism is it a religion?
Yeah, I mean, Han Solo calls it a religion.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's a religion, but yeah,
doesn't mean it. Yeah, but who else calls it your sad devotion to that?
Well, I mean,
Grandma Tarkin
what's his name? Dude in
or not Tarkin, the other guy, the
dude in Rogue One kind of treated it like a religion, right? Like
they got sacred texts.
Yeah.
Oh, well, dude in Rogue One followed the Wills though, which is a different kind of sect of the Force, I guess, or different name for the Force.
Yeah, I am.
Well, I didn't realize that they're one and the same. The Wills and the Force.
Yeah, so like everybody
the
has
Wills are like the midichlorian things. Right? The micro universe. Am I off base here?
No, the Wills are they just have they're like more like monks, I guess.
Hey, You know the rule. Every time he ever says midichlorians and then asks, "Am I off base?" You say, "Yes, you are."
We get a drink. We get a drink. I noticed also in the Acolyte. I know we're all over the place with this review of it, but they really edge you up to the word midichlorian. Like,
well, Timmy and Mando,
they don't want to say
M count.
Yeah, M count. Yeah,
right. Because they know that it's a dumb word. It's a dumb word like unobtainium.
Everything Star Wars is a fucking dumb word. Like,
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Tatooine is actually a real place in Tunisia, I think. I think they spell it. They spell it different. I think they spell it differently.
You're opening up a can of worms.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's a cool thing. If
McClunky. Fuzzy nerf herder. They're just dumb words.
McClunky
National Park.
McClunky got like added. That didn't used to be in that movie. Okay. That was McClunky.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing for Star Wars to be full of dumb words, but if you don't want to acknowledge that they're silly words.
I'm saying midichlorian sounds like mitochondria, okay?
Powerhouse of the cell.
What?
That's like the joke. It's the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah, no, I know, but like you don't need the word to sound that much like something that we, like just
they call coffee calf. Like I don't know what you.
They also call things like normal things too. So I'm saying like just call it something that makes sense.
I like to think that if someone who didn't like the Acolyte was watching this, they're all like, "Oh yeah," after this conversation that they're having about the Acolyte, they've changed my mind.
Okay, well, I mean, let's go back.
Well,
get back on rails.
Pivot.
Oh, there you go, Frank. There you go, Frank. You missed your chance to talk about the Acolyte.
Damn it, that was my one chance.
But you like it though, right?
Yeah,
I do, and I like the way that you made the distinction between like it and is it good? Like, I think you said that earlier, that you said we both are enjoying it, and that's true. I am enjoying it. I don't think it's good quite yet. It might get good, but it might not.
Yeah, I never look forward to it every week when I'm like, it's not like X-Men 97, right? Like X-Men 97 every freaking Wednesday, I'm like, can we eat the breakfast and watch the show now, please? But like with this one, I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday. I forgot to watch this last night. I forgot to watch this last night.
Not everything can be great.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean everything's bad.
No, true.
And it does have its moments where it's kind of bad. Like when he's all like, in the beginning, he's teaching his Padawans not to trust his eyes. And then later on, he explains, in the same episode, I saw her die with my own eyes.
Yeah, I know.
He says those words, and
I think that was intentional. Like he's forgetting his own. Like I see it all the time. I see people like literally tell you, "Hey, this is the correct way to do things," and then they forget to do that for themselves. Like
sure, but this show does that with a lot of different characters, a lot of different times, and I'm okay with that. Like I'm having a good time watching it. I'm enjoying it for whatever reasons. I do like some of the technology that they brought out. Like I like how the lightsabers themselves are a little fatter.
It's fun because it exists in a completely like fresh playground. You know what I mean? Like it's a new sandbox where you can just enjoy things. And if you like this, cool. If you don't like that, cool. It's okay. You don't have to. We didn't like everything about. Like I don't like the Ewoks. That's okay. You know what I mean? Like the Ewoks aren't
the Ewoks.
The Ewoks aren't for me.
Yeah. I do like and a lot of people complain about the new sect of the Force, I guess, that with these new witches. They complain about them because they worship the Force in a different way, but that's just how I see it. They're just worshiping the Force in a different way. I don't think it's a negative thing. I think it expands on the universe, which is what I like. That's all I've ever wanted. Like, get the fuck off Tatooine for like 2 seconds, please.
Go to their national park though.
Yeah, go to their national park for sure. If you can't get off Tatooine, then go to when Tatooine was an ocean. Go to that time period.
That would be cool.
That's what I want to see.
All right, you wanted to pivot to The Boys.
Oh yeah,
do you still want to pivot to The Boys?
Oh, I haven't seen The Boys, but I'll listen to you guys talk about it if you want.
No, I know Ricky wanted to pivot to The Boys.
Oh no, I mean I've caught up. That show.
No, great. You haven't. You even said that before the show.
I'm missing 40 minutes or. No, not even 40 minutes, like 20 minutes.
Did you watch Face Down, Ass Up?
Nope,
you didn't. There you go.
What is that one?
That's later in your 40 minutes you didn't watch. All right.
Dang.
I'm just saying. There's
I mean, I saw a guy do some stuff in front of some people.
No.
Okay.
That
Boys
show,
is great.
I promise you, what you saw does not even come close to how the things that I can't erase from my brain from that episode.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
That episode reached new heights of disgusting and awesome at the same time. Like
as I watch The Boys, and especially this episode, and I think it's only because we just got done watching a lot of X-Men stuff. This show makes a strong case for the humans in the X-Men universe. Like a strong case on why these people are not.
You mean the January 6ers?
Yeah, I mean, yes. In general, it's like not the January 6ers specifically, but like.
Oh, I thought you
maybe
meant that
superheroes are like not a great.
Yeah, for sure.
Not great.
I think all the seasons kind of do
unregulated superheroes.
But I mean, have you ever seen the memes though? Like, there's been a lot of memes lately about like people like seeing Captain America save somebody and being like, "Wow, you're amazing!" And then like they watch Rogue like stop a Sentinel from destroying the city and like, "Wow, how'd you get your powers?" She's like, "Oh, I was born this way." Ugh, get out of here, you filthy mutant! You know, like. It makes no freaking sense in the Marvel universe why they hate
it absolutely doesn't.
Why they hate them, but it works in X-Men 97 because it's like mostly just them, you know what I mean? Like I know Captain America and Iron Man and stuff like in Spider-Man like exist in their universe, but they're not the focal point. But like the X-Men kind of breaks when you put them into the larger Marvel universe. It really doesn't make any sense why people hate them as much as they do. But yeah, when you watch The Boys, it makes perfect sense why so many people idolize them and so many people absolutely are terrified of them.
Yes. Even without having seen the latest season, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Also, in addition to that, for some reason, Spider-Man gets all the hate. Like
they treat him like he's a mutant, right? Yeah. It's
even when he tried to join the X-Men, they were all like, "No, get the fuck out of here!
Like, gross.
You're not
a mutant." Yeah,
you disgust me.
Yeah, it's true.
But one thing I do like about the mutants is that like the different sects of mutants that they have, like the Morlocks and like you got the Brotherhood
Club,
the Hellfire Club,
the Marauders.
Yeah, they got a bunch of those, and I think that's really cool. That's really cool to
clubs.
Have.
They got clubs. They got
clubs.
It's important to have clubs. You get sense of community. You need that.
Yeah,
it's good.
Good stuff. But I still haven't finished X-Men 97. Like, I just can't get over my hangups with watching cartoons. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what broke me. Was it Animaniacs? Like, after I finished Animaniacs, I was just like, I'm done 40, here.
Your animation gene just goes away.
You're too funny, Frank. Yeah. Your whole hang up with X-Men
this is for kids. I'm not
animated. A kid. You know what should motivate you?
Sure. What?
Ricky actually liked that show.
Yeah, I know. Like, and the fact that Ricky liked it does motivate me, and like that's why I watched the first episode, and I was like, "Wow, this is really good." Do I want to watch the second one? Nah.
The conversation, like I asked all our guests for that show, is like, is this the same show as the previous one? And I feel like, at least my take, it's not. It is a different new show. Of course, story-wise, canonically, it is a sequel series, but they are very different shows. At least in my mind.
You feel like the tone is different?
In your mind, 100%. Without ever really watching the old shows.
Yes.
You've never watched the old shows?
That's why he asked us all the questions.
I've seen a handful of episodes.
And the funny thing about it is, like, most of the time our answer is, yeah, it's still the same show. It's just grown up with us. And then he's like, yeah, I feel like from everybody's answer, it's a different show.
Yes. Someone cut that.
Someone cut that.
Cut that video.
It's pretty funny.
Like, I mean, to be fair though, to Ricky's point, I will say that like you're not the same person you were when you were watching the X-Men. So
correct.
If you've grown up with it and you feel that it's grown up with you, then by that logic, then that show has changed.
Fair.
So, Ricky, you win. I just defended you, Ricky. You owe me now.
1 point for me.
Yeah.
But does it feel like it's got the same DNA?
Yeah,
like,
it definitely feels
all the way through.
Like it's like when you meet someone that you were friends with in high school, and like you still kind of click, you know, like everything it's like no time has been lost, but you're different, they're different, but you still get along together. You still have
they're still the same person though.
Yeah, and maybe they've even grown in your esteem.
Yeah,
like with this show, like their portrayal of Cyclops in that first episode was like, I was like, oh hell yeah, this is cool. And the fact that when you see Rogue, within seconds of seeing Rogue, she says sugar. Like I need a high sugar ratio when I have Rogue on screen. Like I need a certain SPMs.
You want diabetes when Rogue's on TV.
Yeah, 100%. So much so that I wanted to buy a Nissan Rogue and I wanted to make the vanity plate sugar. That's how much I love Rogue, and that's how much I love it when she says sugar.
That's obsessive.
Oh yeah,
that'll put you on a list.
I'll admit it.
It's okay.
I'll admit
it's
that.
All right.
Like Rick, I think this is the tamest thing I've been put on the list for on recording one of these shows with you guys.
Now, I know we didn't tell you this in advance, Frank, and I apologize for this, but this show, the way we've been doing it lately, is on a strict 1 hour schedule. So with that, I want to give Ricky one chance to do any news that he wants to go over before we go into the Elektra segment, because we will cut your ass off at 59 minutes.
So let's go. There's a lot to go through. Actually, mostly DC stuff today. So let's kind of get through it.
All right, quick one sentence answer.
Watch the new Penguin trailer that came out today.
Nope, I didn't.
Nope, pass. Cool.
Did you watch the new Bruce Timm Batman show that came out today?
Nope, cartoon pass.
A show came out today?
Oh, no, it didn't come out today, but the trailer for his new show.
Nope, didn't pass. Didn't
cartoon pass.
Okay. Do we care who the new voice of Batman is?
Fuck no, pass.
No.
Okay. There was a great Vanity Fair article today about the status of the Blade movie. The nugget that came out of this was apparently after Mahershala won his Oscar for the Green Book, he called Marvel and said, I want to be Blade. And that's how this whole thing got started. That's kind of a baller move.
And that's why they haven't prioritized it the way they have other movies, because they didn't have it set necessarily in their grand scheme, but they do want to have an Oscar winner be on deck, right?
That, but he also has somewhat creative control over this movie.
Yeah,
so he's picking the director and writer.
Well, then tell him to finish fucking writing it. Get on it. Get on that shit, Mahershala.
All right, that was too many sentences for that one.
All right.
And Dennis, you can take point from here. We got some new Marvel Legends.
Check it out. It's a Strange Tales series of figures. Frank, look at that Moon Knight.
That is so fucking sick.
Is he not? Frank, look at that Dracula.
Dude, I was looking at Papa Voodoo over there. That's tight.
Brother Voodoo. And you know what's even cooler?
I call him Papa Voodoo.
You can change him into Dr. Voodoo or back and forth, because he's got the Eye of Agamotto right there on his cape.
Yeah,
and it comes off. It comes off.
Damn,
it's removable.
That's so sick.
It's pretty good. Yeah. And then did you see the Build-A-Figure? You recognize that leg, that arm?
Lilith, right? Oh wait, the arm.
No. Keep going, Ricky. Keep going. Lilith.
Oh, is that Blackheart? That's Blackheart.
Blackheart, dude.
Nice.
And it's very tall. Bloodstorm is a really cool figure. Vampire Storm.
The Vampire Storm, yeah, hell yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. Hellfire Wolverine.
That's from the What If, right?
This is Wolverine with the Ghost Rider spirit, right? Inside of him, Zarathos.
That's from What If, though, right? What If number 38?
I think so, yeah. That's pretty cool. Armored Dracula with 2 different heads, so you get the fangs. That's awesome.
That's sick.
I love the earrings too.
That is so sick.
That wave, yeah, they called it Strange Tales. It came out for pre-order today. Looks freaking awesome. I love it. They also showed off at the fan stream on Monday a few other figures. I don't know if you have those as well, Ricky, but they showed off Phoenix. They're doing a brand new Phoenix with the actual Phoenix. It looks really cool. With the bird.
Nice.
I honestly can't remember.
And there's also a Rogue, right?
There is a Rogue and Destiny 2 pack from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So it's Rogue when she was a villain.
And then Xavier.
Oh, cool. With the skunk hair?
Yeah, with the skunk hair. And then Xavier in his Shi'ar outfit. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, nice.
And that's it. One more? I'm missing one?
I can't remember, but it was a really cool fan stream. It was really awesome. So people go watch it. And I think we're done with that.
We're done with that, so let's get
nice.
on with this.
That was probably the most efficient news we've ever done.
That was great.
I liked it.
Man, I was trying to look up Wolverine Ghost Rider, but I guess it's not a what if. It's just some kind of fan fiction, apparently, that they made into something.
I have no idea.
I mean, it looks cool, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care.
Like, he needs Wolverine with the Ghost Rider stuff.
Yeah. If he doesn't piss fire, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, did you see Damon Hellstrom is in the set, like, who was previously announced as an exclusive for the Ghost Rider HasLab campaign, and now they're like, oh, well, he's a different body now.
Yeah, so, that's funny.
Yeah. Anyways, we are now doing the spotlight on 2005's Elektra. Ricky, you want to take it away for a minute? You want to give us a synopsis? What are your 2 cents? Have you ever watched this movie before?
Damn, I've never seen this movie. I don't know if, aside from Daredevil, I've seen a movie with Jennifer Garner in it. I know she has 13 going on 30, but
that's just big remade.
To me, she's just the Capital One lady.
Oh yeah, the Quicksilver.
Yeah, what's in your wallet?
Her and Nick Fury are both Quicksilver people.
That's funny. That's funny.
But so this movie stars Jennifer Garner as Elektra. She is back from the dead and is now an assassin, right? A for-hire assassin, a hit woman, as you will.
I think hit person probably.
As she's making her way through the criminal underground, she ties back. She gets a job that she can't refuse, but once she's on the mission,
she refuses.
She realizes the tables have turned. And the prey becomes protected as she battles the hand.
Which AI did you use to write that one?
Yeah. I don't know that the tables turned in that sense, but sure, I like it. It's fun. It leaves us room to discuss. But yeah, I think this movie, I know if our friend Clark was here, who was planning to be on the show as well, he was going to talk about all the things that are in the director's cut of this movie that also include an actual scene from with a cameo with Ben Affleck.
Oh wow!
Because he was dating her at the time of this movie. After
Clark and Jen.
Wow. Clark was dating her. They were in a throuple with Ben Affleck.
Oh, perfect.
No, Ben Affleck was dating Jennifer Garner after this and eventually ended up marrying her. And so it wasn't a big ask to get him to come into the movie just as a cameo, but also I think it's cool that the movie stands on its own. But yeah, one of the other main characters, Marvel characters that appears in this story is Stick.
Yeah.
And that's weird for me.
That's the weirdest part of this movie.
Why is that weird?
It's weird because I just wanted Stick in the first movie. I wanted Stick in Daredevil. Do you know what I mean?
You can't have two blind ninjas in New York.
You kind of can, though.
Not at that time. They weren't for diversity and inclusion.
Remember, we couldn't handle web shooters.
But I think my thing is the Daredevil movie. If you'll give me a second to just talk about that one, is like it was so heavily influenced by all of Frank Miller's works.
Yeah,
that it was weird to leave out a very important character in the Frank Miller story,
like in the mythos of Daredevil.
Yeah, in the mythos,
Stick comes in is from Frank Miller.
Yes.
Okay. So up until that point, Daredevil was just an acrobatic dude.
Yeah, who we knew his dad was a boxer and stuff like that. Yeah,
but he's battling Jack Murdoch.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The ninja part of his skill set was not developed yet until Frank Miller.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Frank Miller kind of Frank Miller also created Elektra. Like if you watch in the credits of this movie, I thought it was really cool that when it says Elektra created by just Frank Miller, no other names, just he wrote it, he drew it. That's it. That's and I think that's a cool thing. And I think Frank Miller has done a lot of hit and misses throughout his career. But I think he left a huge stamp a huge mark on Daredevil and Batman, right? Like where we like so much of the greatest stories for both of those characters is from one man who drew and wrote all of it, most of the time. There was some Frank Miller stuff that he only drew, I think, right, in Daredevil.
Yeah, and like he'd always come back and draw some stuff, or he'd come back for like a one-off story, like but a lot of the times it was just like him returning just to kind of because he put so much of a stamp on it, because he influenced the character so much that they have him in high regard.
Yeah, and it was really funny because
like a cameo in the Daredevil movie.
Yeah, and so he does make a cameo. Yeah. So what was really funny is when I was watching Elektra, like my wife, who's never seen this movie, was like confused, and she's like, "Wait, is she?" And then she's like, "Wait, no, that's TC." And she was like, "I'm sorry, I was confusing Elektra with like Talia al Ghul because like I thought she used like a Lazarus pit to come back." And I was like, "No, she's not Talia. She's not like. If anything, you know what she is? She's kind of like a hybrid between Talia and Catwoman, right? Like, because she's kind of both at the same time. Like so, and I think that's funny that's what Frank Miller."
Well,
kind of made that.
I mean, Talia and Catwoman they're very similar in terms of being
they're the two loves of Batman.
Yeah,
right?
they're the two loves of Batman. They're often on villains. Like they're like really they're kind of bastardizations of each other, kind of.
But one's a killer and one's a thief.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So we'll set the stage for me then with Elektra. Is the origin in the Daredevil show more accurate, or the origin in this movie more accurate?
Probably I would say the movie, like Daredevil and Elektra are only because they'll lean into that weirdness of like, so Bullseye stabs her with the sai to kill her.
Well, but you're asking about her origin though, right?
Yeah. Pre-sai.
You're saying like pre-sai,
pre-murder.
Pre-murder.
Probably the show is a little nicer to Elektra than the movie was, right? The movie's just like, oh yeah, my dad hired a new sensei, made me train under multiple senseis all the time, and I'm like, that's a really, really cute one sentence to explain a lot of gifts that you have here,
that's quite the yada yada.
Yeah, exactly. So I was
all like, but anyway, let's fight in the park.
Yeah, and also like I think the show does a better job of capturing her crazy too, because she's not like, the reason I say that she's like Catwoman and Talia is because they have a dark side, both of them. Talia's far darker, right? Like, but Catwoman has the potential to be a hero sometimes, right? Like, not so much
Talia too, but but in her own eyes, like
in her own eyes,
she sees what she's doing with the League of Assassins as being heroic and saving the world.
Yeah.
Well, the show treats Elektra, I feel like, as a weapon. Like, she will kill you, and there's no remorse. Like, you're just an obstacle in her way.
Well, I think you're talking about once she's resurrected by the Hand, in which case she's kind of brainwashed by the Hand, right? So when the Hand resurrects her, yes, she is a weapon. But before that, she's just kind of like, I wouldn't say manic pixie dream girl, but
like
she's
a battle manic pixie dream girl. Or
yeah. She's a lot. She's a lot to take in, right? Like you're not sure if she's gonna like kill you or kiss you, kind of thing, So, but regardless, what I think is cool about the movie is Jennifer Garner. I just think that's what makes this movie cool. Like I wasn't mad about like, the choices they made with this character necessarily, because they had already kind of dug a hole for themselves with the Daredevil movie, right? So they're just trying to dig themselves out of this hole and have fun with it a little bit. And so
I don't see it as them digging a hole with Daredevil, but because I miss Daredevil, I'll refrain from talking about it too much.
She took me out of this movie.
She took you out of this movie?
Her herself?
And really? I mean, again, because like I just, it's like, that's the Capital One lady.
Oh my God, Ricky!
And like
So there's this thing called acting, Ricky, and sometimes people play different roles,
and not to like just. She's like a white woman dressed as a ninja.
She's not dressed.
She's not dressed as. She's hella not dressed as a ninja.
She is not dressed as a ninja.
You know, she's. If you want to go, she's a white woman dressed as if she was a white woman going to a club in the 90s. That's what she's dressed as.
Yeah, she is not dressed like a ninja. Okay, she is a white woman. I'll give you that, and that's weird. But I got past that in the first movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not going to hold. You can't hold that against this movie after we already did the first movie.
They said, you know what?
And let's run it back. She's Greek. She's Greek. Like there's like 5 different lines in the first movie that say like, "Oh, she's Greek. She's Greek."
But that's what I'm saying. Like the first movie, you either accept that everything that we got there, and then you move on, or you just don't accept it, and then you just don't watch Elektra. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of.
See, I think it's weird because like they do go into her backstory a bit,
and she still has a Greek dad.
Yeah.
You're played by a different actor.
Well, he's younger. Yeah. He's supposed to be, she's a kid.
It's not like a Catwoman situation where like it's a completely just new take on Catwoman, so nothing really matters at that point.
Well, it's a new character though, and they still reference Selena Kyle in that Catwoman.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Elektra the movie, or you want to just keep talking about Capital One Lady?
Let's talk about Capital One Lady.
They're one and the same, right?
No, they're not the same.
She's made more money from that movie or the Capital One commercials?
Probably the Capital One commercials.
Yeah, I don't
just because she gets the royalties, right, for more commercials.
We are so off topic right now.
That's like the gift that keeps on giving. She'll keep getting money.
You guys. So here's the thing. The reason I like this movie more than Daredevil is because this movie embraced the actual weird. Like it actually went with the first time a hand assassin gets murdered, poof, turns into a flashing green cloud. And that's everything I ever saw in the comics. You know what I mean? Like it was awesome to like see that on screen. And even if it's an outdated special effect, it's not horrible like by today's standards, but it was just cool to see, okay, we are playing with the supernatural, and that adds this new element of comic bookiness to this story that allows me to just turn my brain off a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, I think Daredevil was trying to ground itself in this weird reality, but then Bullseye's like doing weird shit on standing on bikes and like jumping on organs. And I'm just like, tell me where we're supposed to be. You're doing the sensory deprivation tank, but like
it starts off pretty gritty and realistic. And
you know what I mean?
It departs from that. I like that. I didn't find that as jarring as you did. I actually enjoyed that.
I didn't mind that.
But tonally, it does jump around a little bit, right?
Yeah, I will agree. I'll agree.
Because I think Daredevil's like Ben Affleck's like in a different movie than the rest of the people in that movie, right?
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Like
I disagree with him being fat, but I do think it looked like he was sucking it in the entire time. Like, I don't think he was fat per se, but like he was like.
But contrast to this movie, there's like 5 fucking people in this movie.
Oh yeah,
but there's more than 5, but they don't have lines though, and that's cool. Like they're just a lot of bad guys for Elektra to kill, right? Like you get some cool, interesting ones. You get Typhoid, you get Tattoo. You get Kirigi, you get Stone. By the way, these are all actual characters from the comics, like so.
Well, she's Typhoid Mary. Why didn't they call her Mary?
I know. She's Typhoid Mary in the book, but yeah, these are all characters, and then there's Stick and the Chased ninjas, right? Which are like the white ninjas instead of the red ones and stuff.
And Mark Miller, apparently, she's saving. The guy that wrote Kick-Ass.
That's weird for me that his name's Mark Miller, but they spelled his last name Miller like
ER.
different,
Yeah. So, and same with like Jack Kirby being in Daredevil. Kevin Smith. Right? Kevin Smith. Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
This movie, it
let it out. Ricky.
I wasn't.
Let it all.
It's not good, but it's not bad enough to keep me engaged. It was just so boring. Like it's so boring, and not even like bad. Like I can watch it's kind of cheesy in a fun way, like Daredevil was. This is just like very monotone and very just like things just happened, and then it's like okay. They also don't reference that she's still like a fucking billionaire in this movie, right? And she's doing all these jobs for money, but she's like not excited and hates it, and then like I don't know. Like I just felt bored watching this entire movie. And this is probably like the first comic book movie in a long time that I felt just bored.
For me, when I watch it, it reminds me of like some of the Punisher movies, where they're kind of small scale stories, but they're just fun to watch the Punisher do his thing. You know what I mean? Like I even like Warzone. Like we could talk about that one sometime. You know, like it's a fun movie.
It's cheesy.
It's cheesy, but like he just goes around killing bad guys, and that's it. You know, like there's no like grand story to it.
There's no fucking laser and Thanos shows up and he's like,
I don't need that though. But like, I just feel like there's no. Okay, this chick has powers now, and then she's like the special one, but she was hidden for half the movie. Like it.
You are clearly someone who never grew up watching The Golden Child.
Well, I do agree with Ricky. Well, see, the difference between The Golden Child and this movie is that the stakes are clearly defined in The Golden Child. Like we know what's going to happen if whatever. We don't even know what the fucking treasure means in their lore. It's like episode 1 where they mention midi-chlorians. We don't know what the stakes are. We don't know what the prophecy of the one is. We don't know.
Well, they mentioned the prophecy at the beginning of the movie, but it's kind of.
But she also has like no skin in the game at all. Yeah, she could dip at any point in this. The only thing to keep her in is like her weird moral guidance that she has to find her to unlock her hidden power.
I think she has skin in the game, and that like she's like you learn throughout the course of the movie that Stick was a very influential person in her life. And that this whole thing has been a test from Stick, right? To see if she can come out of this a cleaner soul than when she starts this movie, right?
Yeah.
Because she's lost her path. And so, like I'm saying, it's not a giant
Stick a shitty person.
No one's ever arguing that Stick isn't a shitty person.
Stick is a pretty shitty person.
Have you never seen the other show, the Daredevil show?
Yes. Well,
Stick is a shitty person. But that's fine. You know, like that's okay because he's not trying to save himself. He's trying to save Elektra or usually Daredevil. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to correct the sins of the father, you know, or the sins of the past kind of thing. So yeah, I disagree that there's no skin in the game and there's no, you know, like she does have skin in the game and that's I think it's important that we watch her try to kill this innocent girl for the money, but then she hesitates because she sees herself in that kid. You know what I mean? And like, you don't have to like the way the director goes about executing those things, but I follow the story and I understand what's happening, and I am enjoying it enough because like Jennifer Garner is freaking buff. And she kicks ass in this movie, man. You know, so like that's for me, that's enough. Like that's the bar for a Punisher movie. Is he buff and is he gonna kick ass? You know, so like I think if that's my bar for a Punisher movie, I don't think I need more from Elektra except for fantastical hand ninjas, which we got.
Man,
got lots of them.
After spending 10 minutes with Abby, though, I was just like, Elektra, I'll kill her, and we'll split the money.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, most of the time, the children sidekicks in movies are annoying. So
they set up the movie with like this assassination where you don't really get to see her taking out all these cards, but she takes out a bunch of cards, and the guy's like telling stories like you can't stop her.
You mean by the guy? You mean Jason Isaac, probably the best actor in the whole movie? That they
don't know who that is, but
man,
they probably couldn't afford Jason Isaac, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
he knows she's like a John Wick. Everyone knows Elektra will come kill you. So when the girl's like meets her for the first time, she's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Elektra." I don't know. I mean, you don't think they're doing the fucking math? Like, oh shit, there's another person on this island named Elektra. Like it just seemed like if I'm supposed to do this,
why would they know that Elektra's coming to kill them?
They know people are trying to kill him. I would hope they would do some research on who could be coming their way.
I mean, okay, that's a stretch, Ricky. Like that's
okay. Well, back it up. If you're a assassin, would you give out your legal name to a person you're going to kill, or you might have to kill?
I mean, fine, whatever. Like, but she didn't know she was going to kill. She didn't know that was her target. When they met, they didn't. Yeah, she didn't know that.
It seemed like it was more happenstance. Like she moved into the knock
standard practice.
She moved into the house from knock, and then Anna de Armas didn't show up, so she went to go hang out with the Mark Miller and his daughter. That's
pretty much. Yeah.
When your job is to kill people, I don't think you just throw your real name out there.
I think we're done with Ricky for.
I don't know why she. Yeah, that's what Sarah said when we were watching it. She's all like, "Why did you use your real name?" I'm all, "Yeah, you should have been like, oh, my name's Janet, or like, I don't know, just any name, but not Elektra."
Yeah, it's not like you have a normal last name.
Yeah.
Frank, what do you think about this movie?
I thought it was good. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I like Daredevil more still, but I did like what you said about how it leans into the weird. I appreciate that a lot. That goes a long way with me actually, because I know a lot of movies, especially around this time, kind of played it safe, like a little too safe.
Mm-hmm.
And this one did not play it safe. And I don't think the gamble 100% paid off, but man, fucking Terrence Stamp as Stick, that's great casting. The only one better would might have been like Roddy McDowell or someone like that.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty good. Like I forgot Terrence Stamp is in this movie because, like, in all honesty, like in my mind, Terrence Stamp's in 2 movies and that's it. He's maybe Blade. You can count. Maybe he's a guy in Blade. Yeah. But like he's General Zod for life, and he's also in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Like that's it. Those are the 2 Terrence Stamp movies I'll always think about. So it's surprising whenever I see another movie where he's in it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did this too.
Pretty good. And can we just admit, like, he played blind so much better than Ben Affleck did?
Yeah. Well, damn right. Yeah, we could say that because Ben Affleck, like whenever they take off his mask, he like crosses his eyes and looks up. Like,
yeah.
Each and every time, and I'm gonna stop doing that. Just like look normal.
You know what I found out after I shat on Ben Affleck all last week? Mm-hmm. I found out that he was blind in those scenes.
Oh, really?
Because he wore those contacts that he wore actually made it so he couldn't see. And I'm like, that's even worse, that you look that dumb and you actually were blind. And I bet you Terrence Stamp wasn't actually even blind in his scenes. He sold it better to me. Like he just like, I felt like he actually like researched it or something, like, or has an old stage acting trick of like, this is how you play blind.
Or just a better actor than Ben Affleck.
Or probably that. That's probably the whole thing.
Occam's razor. Razor.
Yes, that's probably it. Yeah.
But yeah, like I liked seeing the minions too, like Stone, like how we discussed Stone and Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary is one of my favorite villains in the comics.
Yeah.
And I think the only bummer of this movie is that I think Daredevil could have been inserted later into a third, like a book ended into like a third movie. And I think it would have been really cool to see them both kind of be in it, and Stick would be like, hey, you're the guy I trained you too. And be like, and just wink at the audience, kind of thing.
Also, I read, where are they in this movie?
Yeah, that's what I couldn't figure out either. Like it, because I know it was filmed in Vancouver.
Well, half the movie's in Japan.
Well, it was filmed in Vancouver, like a lot of those shots. So that's basically like Pacific Northwest, but
it felt Pacific Northwest to me. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like, but we were looking at license plates. We were trying to see like where it was filmed, if there was any clues, but I didn't get any answers.
But I think that's kind of a very similar vibe I get to some of the Punisher movies, right? Like, it doesn't matter where it is, right? Like, it's just somewhere in America, and like you just accept that like this kind of stuff's going to happen wherever, like, so I like that. I like that sometimes a movie doesn't have to be a Marvel movie, especially, doesn't have to be definitively in New York. Like, this is New York. It's always New York. Like, it's fun. It's fun to take it out of that setting would it have been nice if it actually was like more clues, landmarks and stuff? I don't know, maybe, but yeah. By the way, this was written by Zach Penn, who also wrote a lot of the X-Men movies too.
Oh yeah, he wrote the best one, X3.
He co-wrote X2 with David Hayter. They're both credited on
the ones that are actually good on his list are the ones he co-wrote, like the Avengers, the Incredible Hulk.
He co-wrote this one too, Elektra. It's two other people on the list.
Two other people could not rein him in.
Couldn't crack the code of Elektra.
What was your favorite thing about this movie, Frank?
Favorite thing about this movie, probably Jennifer Garner's acting. Actually, like she's really good
for sure.
And it's funny, like how revered I feel that her acting is in both of these movies, and how I've never seen a single one of her movies except for 13 going on 30.
I know, but I think that says a lot though about like why I can't hate this movie the way I can on Daredevil, is because the movie's called Elektra, and guess what? The person playing Elektra is pretty good at playing Elektra. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that goes a long way for me. I can forgive a lot of other dumb stuff in this movie if the titular character is actually knocking it out of the park. So she came to play, man. Like, and like I said, my wife never saw the movie before. She watched a few scenes of it and she's like, this girl is committed. And I'm like, I know, right? Like she gave me that feeling, and that feeling is enough to keep me from being bored when I'm watching this movie. Because it's just like when I watch Wolverine do some of the worst Wolverine movies, I'm still like, but Hugh Jackman though, right? He's doing as much as he possibly can. So for me, that goes a long way. And I'm sorry it didn't go that way for you, Ricky. I'm sorry the Capital One lady ruined your experience. But
I guess it's bored. Like I honestly just
like what was worse, like Son of the Mask or Elektra for you, Ricky?
I saw that movie came out when I was still a kid, and I probably laughed in that movie. So
dang.
I mean, this came out when you were a kid too,
I didn't. Yeah, but
he didn't laugh during that movie though.
No,
he's all like, "This is the future Capital One."
He's like, "I just didn't see it because it looked too woke." Opus, clip
I don't know why I really don't know why I missed the movie though. I mean, this was 2005, so I would have been 8 or 9.
I
will say the fight was kind of cool. A lot of cool CG, the sheet fight, or the one with all the sheets.
The sheet fight was artistic for sure.
Yeah, I like CG sheets.
I liked Tattoo. He's probably my second favorite thing in the whole movie. Like they leaned on that character a lot too. Like, but he's the tattooed man in the Marvel comics, and I was like, this guy's a bit OP, but it's okay because he got a sigh in the face, and then that was it. Like,
yeah, then he was done.
Yeah,
that would be kind of one of my gripes. Like they killed the villains way too quick and easy.
Yeah.
But like, to be fair, like when the hand's involved, like they
usually die pretty fast.
Yeah, they die pretty fast, but there's no real permadeath when there's
no permadeath. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So I'm not worried about like sequels. So if I wanted a sequel where Daredevil fought Typhoid Mary, like I'd want.
It could have still happened.
It could have happened. Yeah, it could have happened.
Yeah, and I believe that Fox was scrambling to try and make that movie happen, but they were just dropping the ball a lot, and I think Ben Affleck got tired of waiting for it, and then he started doing some press saying that he never wants to do another superhero movie again. It's humiliating, blah blah blah, and then eventually Fox just let the option fall back into Marvel's hands, and that's why. But they were trying to make a Daredevil 2 movie that probably would have brought Elektra back, because I know she was kind of a favorite for a lot of people in that movie. So
she got her own movie.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it was also co-produced by Kevin Feige and Mark Steven Johnson, the director of Daredevil, was a producer on this movie.
Yep.
So it was meant to go somewhere, and thankfully, I'm pretty sure I've heard a rumor that it's finally going to go somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. That'll do it for this week. Big thanks to Frank for joining us again on our roundtable. What are we talking about next week, Dennis?
I think you wanted to do Ghost Rider, or we're gonna do Ghost Rider.
Son of the
We're
Mask.
doing Ghost Rider, Son of the Mask.
Or wait. If we got to do Fox, we should do Fantastic Four 2.
Fantastic Four 2, Son of the Mask, coming at you next week. And with that, True Believers, that's it.